Physical Lions get the win to get to 2-1. Let's do a post-game pod.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And a pleasant good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Lions get a win today. Matt Dery with you. It's Locked On Lions on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day on a Sunday, September 24th and a Monday, September 25th. Post-game edition as the Lions win 20-6 down at Ford Field over the Atlanta Falcons today to improve to 2-1. Falcons dropped to 2-1 in a game the Lions really had to get, despite all of the injuries and everything else. With a short work week coming up to face the Packers in Green Bay. Packers come back from 17 down to win today. It was important that the Lions get this one, and they do today behind their defense. We will get into all of it today, the way the defense played, the Jared Goff, just the calmness that he had. Dan Campbell and the coaching staff. Shout out to Aaron Glenn as well. And we'll hand out some game balls as well right here on Locked On Lions. Excuse the voice, still fighting this little cold and cough, but thanks for checking us out wherever you get your podcasts and making this your first listen. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there that check out the podcast each and every, and also following on Twitter at Dery Speaks, at Locked On Lions on Twitter, on Threads at The Real Matt Dery, the Matt Dery Facebook fan page, where we have great commentary and interaction with you, the listeners and fans, each and every day, mostly during the games too. And also, of course, on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Please subscribe and watch us on YouTube. All right, Lions win. All right. And, going into this game, we knew injuries were going to play a factor. We knew the Lions were shorthanded. We knew the Falcons like to run the football, and Bijan Robinson and Algier and these guys were going to be trouble today. And the Lions defense and future head coach, Aaron Glenn, you got to give him a shout out. They were superb today. First of all, Brian Branch. We said this during training camp. I don't know if it was Pride of Detroit or Lions Wire, one of the two, put out an article or something about, could it end up that Brian Branch, let me fix this here. Could it end up that Brian Branch is the best Lions defensive player already? And it's like, wait, hold on a second. He's just a rookie. He was drafted 45th. Teams bypassed him. Through 3 games, he's a dominant player. He's all over the place. He can guard the pass. He can guard the run. He's a sure tackler. He can run. He can backpedal. Kudos and shout out to Brad Holmes. I mean, he's got on his defense right now 2 guys in Aiden Hutchinson and Brian Branch who at times are just dominant. Excuse me, dominant players. And individuals who make so many plays that it is just astounding to watch. And today was one of those days where, the Lions weren't going to score a lot of points. The Falcons defense is pretty good. AJ Terrell, excuse me, bear with me. AJ Terrell on that one corner is pretty darn good. We didn't see much of Jeff Okudah today, but the Falcons defense did a pretty good job. And the Lions offensive line is a struggle bus right now. They need Taylor Decker back. They need Sewell going back to the right side, because right now Penei Sewell on the left side is not the same guy. I think we've seen that. It got to a point today where, and I'm totally veering off topic here, but bear with me. It got to a point today where the Lions had started the game with Matt Nelson at right tackle, then went to Dan Skipper. Yes, Dan Skipper is back. He's like Andre Fluellen on the offensive side. Then they went to Colby Sorsdale, the 5th round pick. Then they went back to Skipper. And Jared Goff was flustered today. He wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination, but threw another interception. And you could tell that the passing game was not as crisp as it's been the last few weeks. And again, that is because we're talking about a patchwork right side of the offensive line and going through 4 different right tackles so far this season, 3 different ones today. But you just kind of knew that it would come down to the defense, and they just kept making plays, and they were physical. They hit hard. The interior of that defensive line, I called them out after last week. Nobody was on the stat sheet. Nobody. Where was Aleem McNeil and Onwuzurike and Benito Jones? Where were those guys last week? And instead, today, you look up and you see Charles Harris had 5 or 6 tackles today. See Aleem McNeil had 3 tackles today, 2 solo. Benito Jones with a sack and a tackle for a loss. Romeo Quara was on the stat sheet. So everybody played really well. They rallied to the football. And who would have thought to start this game that Bijan Robinson would be outgained by Jahmyr Gibbs 80-33. 80-33. Now, we knew David Montgomery wasn't going to play. We knew Jahmyr Gibbs was going to get a lot of touches. It wasn't a great day by any stretch of the imagination for Jahmyr Gibbs. But you know what? For all the talk about Atlanta's run game, the Lions outrushed the Falcons 115-44. You've got to tip your cap to Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, and everybody on that defensive staff. To hold the Falcons to 44 yards rushing is pretty darn good. All right. Now, again, I don't know what Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone, their offensive coordinator, are doing, because they were putting the ball in the hands of Desmond Ridder all day when I would be giving the ball to Bijan Robinson. What did I say? He had 10 carries today. That's it. That's unacceptable. If you're a Falcon fan right now and you're calling into one of those Falcons radio postgame shows, you're saying to yourself, what is our coaching staff doing? We're a 2-0 team going in to play Detroit, and our best player gets 10 carries. He's their best player. Don't give me this Kyle Pitts stuff or Drake London. Those are fine players. Bijan Robinson's real. And he would get a carry, bust off a 7-8 yard run, and then you never see him again. They'd put Algier in the game, or they'd go to the passing game. I thought they bailed out the Lions plenty of times with their play calling. But again, a lot of it too was, you could tell the Lions got called out after last week. They were not physical against Seattle. The defensive line got pushed around. And today, 7 sacks of Desmond Ridder today. 7. They had 1 sack the first 2 games. Aiden Hutchinson was a monster, and at the end of the game with the strip sack and fumble recovery. That's what this Lions defense needs to be doing. And I know it's easy to say, oh, that's easy to do every week, Matt. Yes, they're going to have some bad games. They're not going to go 17-0. They're not going to go 16-1. All right, I get it. You're going to have some good days and bad days in this league. Good halves and bad halves. Look at the Saints. Everybody was crowning the Saints. About to be 3-0 at halftime today, leading Green Bay 17-0. And then Derek Carr got hurt, and the disaster that is Jameis Winston came in, and the Packers won. But all in all, really good day for this defense. And again, when you got young players that you've drafted that are on rookie contracts, like Hutchinson, like Branch, you got to tip your cap to Brad Holmes for bringing those types of guys in here. And some people say, well, it was easy to draft Hutchinson number 2. Well, they could have taken Thibodeau. They could have taken somebody else. But they stayed the course. They've got 2 really good players, and they kept the Falcons out of the end zone today. 2 coup field goals were all the Falcons got today. Speaking of field goals, how about Matt Gay hit 4 50-plus yarders for the Colts in the rain in Baltimore today? That's pretty impressive. All right, coming up next, let's talk about the offense a little bit. Some things I liked and saw from Ben Johnson and company. We'll hand out some game balls as well. We'll see if I can get through this show with my voice. But hey, let's talk about LinkedIn Jobs for a second. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster, and what's great is for free. All you got to do is create a free post on LinkedIn Jobs, then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. That's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Oh, bear with me, folks. I got to keep the water going. My wife offered hot tea for the show today. I probably should have taken her up on that offer, but I'm stupid. Lions win today. Good win for the fellas. 2-1. Heading to Green Bay Thursday night at 8:20 to take on the Packers, who are also 2-1 after Green Bay came back today to beat the Saints. What was the final there? 18-17. Saints blew that game. Give Jordan Love some credit. Delivering when it counted. And boy, Minnesota. Whew. You want to talk about two bad coaches going head-to-head today. Brandon Staley and Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell's did a really good job last year, but first 3 weeks the Vikings look like complete trash. And you have to figure the Jets are going to call the Vikings about Kirk Cousins. You have to figure it's going to happen at some point, right? I mean, Minnesota's 0-3. The Jets are going for it, but they've got Zach Wilson, and he was abysmal again today in New England. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Offensively today for the Lions, again, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff hitting Sam Laporta on the 45-yard kind of rollout pass, and Laporta was wide open down the field. Sam Laporta, I saw this earlier. First rookie in NFL history to have 5 or more catches in his first 3 games. Today, Laporta had 8 catches for 84 yards, including the 45-yard touchdown where he ran a great route. Falcons all bit to the left. Laporta was going left to right, was alone for the touchdown. A great play call by Ben Johnson, great design, and also great execution. Jared Goff was bothered all day today. Falcons and Grady Jarrett and that D-line were in his face. He didn't have any sacks, but a lot of pressures, a lot of hurries, and yet Goff made plays. Threw an interception today, like I said, with the right tackle situation, kind of in flux right now with all of these bodies going in and out. 3 different right tackles to play today. Matt Nelson started, then Skipper, and then Sorsdal. It's going to happen. All right. You're going to have the other team come at you. And guys like Calais Campbell and Jarrett were pretty good today. But Goff hung in there, and he's tough. That's the thing. I mean, we talked for years about how tough Matthew Stafford was. And he was tough. And he is tough. All right. Matthew Stafford's a really good player. And how he will be remembered here, I think, should be all positive for Stafford. But Jared Goff is one tough SOB. 22 out of 33 today, 243 yards, a touchdown, an interception, a passer rating of 85.8. Not over 100, not his best day. But again, with the circumstances and the situation, no David Montgomery, right tackle Palooza, Goff delivered. And what can you say about Amon-Ra St. Brown? Every time this team needs a big play, every time this team needs a catch, 3rd down conversion. I mean, the quietest 100-yard day in the history today. 9 catches, 102 yards for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Josh Reynolds was held without a catch today. Raymond had 4. Gibbs had a catch. But this wasn't like Goff spreading it around. It wasn't great opportunities all day. The Falcons defense, A.J. Terrell's a really good player. Jesse Bates is really good. They did their job, really. But Lions, when they had to, ran the clock down. And then at the end of the game, to kind of seal it, the Goff 2-yard touchdown run on kind of a read option with Gibbs. I loved it. That's how you win games when you lose all these guys to injury, when you're shorthanded, and they needed to get this game, and they did it. A little bit surprised at the amount of carries that Zonovan Bam Knight got over my guy Craig Reynolds. Come on, Craig. I'm a little bit surprised on that, but what I love, what we got a little bit to see what Jahmyr Gibbs can do. And he outgained Bijan Robinson by 47 yards. Now, what I want to see more of as they get David Montgomery back and they kind of get this offense going is I want to see Gibbs more in the passing game. Today, they had to use him, in the backfield as a lead guy. But I want to see him in the slot. I want to see him in motion. I want to see jet sweeps. I want to see wide receiver screens to him. I think that's how they're going to envision using him. But today, the offense did a good job. They did well enough to win. And give credit to Dan Campbell today. All right. Last week, we were destroying him over the decision-making against the Seahawks and what was he doing at the end of the game, what he said to Stoney and Jansen on the ticket about treating the end of the game like it was the end of the half. Today, Dan Campbell read the situation well. He did. 4th down, we're kicking a field goal. We're taking points. 4th and 3, let's play field position with Desmond Ridder and make him go the length of the field. And Jack Fox had a great day, and he'll get a game ball. Flipped the field a couple of times. That was good coaching today. It was smart coaching, conservative, yes, but the smart thing to do. And it got the team the win. That's all you can ask for with Dan Campbell. All right. I'm fading here. Bear with me. This is a cough and sore throat. So I want to hand out some game balls. How about the crowd today? Jeez, you guys are unreal that we're down there. Every day, or Anthony Pavicic texting me from the game. I know my guy Craig Fellhandler was down there today. I don't know if Mike Vanderpool was there or not today, but the crowd was just awesome today. First series, it would sound like a college game, what Adam Amin said on Fox. All right, let's hand some game balls out. We'll do that coming up next. Oh, my God. Sorry, folks. Bear with me. Hey, do you love the convenience of getting what you want right to your door? Well, DoorDash grocery delivery. You can use it and stock up for the week or order last-minute cravings conveniently. You've turned a trusted DoorDash to deliver your favorites from the restaurant. And now you can get grocery delivery that actually delivers too. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you'll find the best in your neighborhood and boost your economy with each and every order. You'll get exactly what you ordered, or we'll make it right. So sit back and enjoy quality groceries just like you picked them yourself. There's also easy substitutions right in the app and best-in-class customer support. So DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to a $20 value when you use the code LOCKEDONNFL at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off, $20, no minimum subtotal, and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code LOCKEDONNFL. Don't forget that's code LOCKEDONNFL for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Whew. All right, Lions win 20-6, 2-1. Get ready to face the Packers in Green Bay for Thursday Night Football, short week. We'll see who starts at right tackle. We'll see if they get David Montgomery back and some of these others back. Taylor Decker, they need him back. My goodness. We'll see if he can get back for Thursday. I got to hand out some game balls. Number one, I said it before and I'll say it again. Jack Fox, the punt god, gets a game ball today. 6 punts today, 45.7 yard average, down 3 inside the 20, and including a 62-yard punt today. Flip the field all flipping day. The punt god, Jack Fox, gets a game ball. Brian Branch today had 11 tackles. 11 solo tackles. 3 TFLs, 2 passes defended. Find me a defensive back to have that kind of a dominant game on this team, since Darius Slay? Brian Branch was everywhere today. Fantastic day for Brian Branch. And Brian, do me a favor. Teach your buddy Tracy Walker how to catch. Poor Tracy, man. He had a good game, but he dropped 2 interceptions right in his hands. Also, I'm giving a game ball to Gaines Media poster boy, Alex Anzalone. 5 tackles today, 3 solo. He set the edge a couple of times today. It was great. He gets a game ball from me. And the last one, Sam Laporta. Touchdown, 8 catches, 84 yards. Hawkinson, who? Sam Laporta is come in, and every time he makes a play and makes a catch, he's taking a defender or 2 with him. He just is great yards after the catch. He drags defenders. In a day that was not, a Lions' great offensive performance, Sam Laporta was there when needed. Big touchdown today. He can block. He's doing it all, and he's showing why the Lions took him when they did in the second round. So those are our game balls from today. Big win for the Lions at 2-1. We appreciate you checking us out on our post-game pod today. Sorry about the voice and all the coughing and everything else, but we're barreling through this Sunday special post-game pod edition of Locked On Lions. We are back tomorrow. We'll do the crossover probably on Wednesday with Peter Bukowski, host of Locked On Packers. I always love talking to my guy Pete. Lions win. Anytime you win, it's good. 20-6. Defense, huge shout out today. And Aaron Glenn did awesome. And Lions now go to Green Bay next week, and what will be a huge game on Thursday. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.